The following program is brought to you by White Death Graphics. Check out White Death Graphics for all your visual design needs at White Death 1385 on Twitter and whitedeathgraphics@gmail.com.
Greetings and salutations, Dave, or I guess technically I should call you Dead on Dave. This is Christopher Daniels.
Hey everyone, it's the Native American Tatanka. Want to give a big shout out to Dead on Dave.
Dave, this is Leon White, Big Van Vader.
Dead on Dave. What's up, man? It's the coach.
Hello, this is the hardcore legend Mick Foley, and I know when I want to keep up with the latest in wrestling news from around the world, I check in with Dead on Dave Productions. He covers a wide variety of wrestling topics, including the career of the hardcore legend. Don't miss it. Dead on Productions. Yeah.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy Dead on Dave, as all of those legends just told you. There's no better place to get all of your wrestling and many other things needs. And this is Sunday, and you guys know what that means. It's time for your weekly WWE Awards. That's right, we look at all the best and worst in WWE this week. And there was quite a bit of things. There were a great many things to look at this week. Yes, a lot of things happened. Some good, some bad, some indifferent. We're going to get to all of those. We're going to start it right now. Cue up the graphics. Monkeys in the truck. You know, I'm feeling kind of today. So let's start the show on a down note. Yes, that's right. The Golden Dave for worst moment, segment, promo, whatever you want to call it, of the week goes to Roman Reigns, man. And look, a lot of people are like, oh, I think Roman is showing quite a bit right now. No, the problem is he's not. He hasn't wrestled since WrestleMania. Yes, I understand, only 2 shows, but he's barely been out there, and a little he has been out there. Unfortunately, the first time we saw it on Raw, it was pretty good. The whole, I'm not a good guy. I'm not a bad guy. I'm the guy. Oh, the first time we saw it, it was pretty good. The second time we saw it, it was kind of contrived. And then you follow that up with him just absolutely repeating almost word for word what AJ Styles says to him in the ring. And you have the makings for just an awful promo that once again puts the spotlight on all of the deficiencies of Roman Reigns. Creative is not the biggest problem with Roman Reigns. The biggest problem with Roman Reigns, and it's something that all you fucking marks out there are going to have to realize at some point, the guy simply isn't that good. Plain and simple. He is serviceable. He's good. He's a good guy. Look, I like Roman Reigns, and I wanted to get behind him. But at this point in his career, he is not a main event guy. And that's not me going, well, there's other guys, these independent guys. No, that's not me saying any of that. I think there is a perfect place for Roman Reigns. It just doesn't necessarily have to be out forefront, right up there for the entire world to see as the main event. It hasn't worked. It's not working, and I don't think it's going to work unless there's a serious rebuild with Roman Reigns very, very soon. And I'm saying this out of concern because I don't want to see this very, very bright young star's career completely stomped out by stubbornness and unwilling to see what everybody else sees. That is all I'm trying to say with this. But all that notwithstanding, worst thing I saw this week was Roman Reigns parroting everything that AJ Styles said right back to him. It was awful. So there you go. What's next there, graphic monkeys? Give me my next Golden Dave. Rain it down on me. Golden showers for all. No, give me the graphic. Jesus, I'm tap dancing. Next up is the moment of the week. This is the moment that made me stop the most and go, wow, this was a great goddamn moment. Not necessarily the best angle, which is another Golden Dave all in and of itself, which is coming up in just a little bit. But this is the best singular moment of the entire week, and it's Cass and Enzo's debut. I thought it was fantastic. I really did enjoy it. I thought it really couldn't have been too many better of scenarios which would have garnered a better debut than this. Yes, could they have debuted at WrestleMania? Could The Rock introduce them months ago? Something like that, sure. But all things considered, they debuted in front of a very hot crowd the night after WrestleMania, ripping down the Dudley Boys, a legendary tag team, which, I got to be honest, I'm kind of getting tired of, but that's okay. Still, other than that, Enzo's promo was on point because I am Enzo Amore, and I am a certified G and a bona fide thug, and you can't teach that. This right here, this is Big Cass, and he's 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that. And this on NXT's is Carmella. She ain't here, but trust me, she's hot as hell, and you can't teach that. Bada boom, realest guys in the room. How you doing? He was great. And Cass, his size, I felt, really resonated much bigger on Raw than it has on NXT. And I don't know why. I think JBL did a good job of putting him over because the guy is so goddamn big. So I thought the whole thing worked. Fantastic debut for Cass and Enzo. It really couldn't have been much better. So this is a best case scenario, and it gave me my favorite moment of the entire week. And that's saying a lot because I liked a lot this week. I really did. A lot of which we'll still talk about. But this is the moment that I think because it was so long time coming, it felt like it should have happened so long ago. These guys have been arguably the most popular act in NXT for coming up on a year. Maybe even longer. So it kind of feels like they should have already been here. So there's all these things, and it just worked. It was a great moment and good crowd. So I loved it. All right, what's the next Golden Dave? Space graphic monkeys in the sky. Yeah, God, my transitions suck today. All right, what's the next fucking Golden Dave? Jesus. So we just did moment of the week. Now we're going to do angle of the week. Now, it was something we're going to talk about in just a little bit. There was a fatal four-way for the number one contendership to the world's heavyweight title on Raw. And the four guys who were going to be involved in that match were Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, Y2J, baby, Chris Jericho, and Sami Zayn. They came out and they had a fantastic moment. And really, that moment itself at the beginning of Raw, or towards the beginning of Raw, could have been the moment of the week. It was a great moment. All four of these guys in there. But during that happening, those four challenging Roman Reigns for the championship and all of that, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens once again gave us all a reminder of their feud, their past, their present, and really their future. And we got to see that on display as they started punching each other in the face in a way that really only they do. They have this way of and I think it's because they are such good friends, that they're able to just make things look so good and so important and so real and so visceral. It's a great thing to see. They really are fantastic at bringing this out in one another, and it's so much fun to watch. I mean, you guys can really feel it. Everybody can feel it. There's something here. So many people talked about how these two needed to be at WrestleMania this year, and I was staunchly against that. I just never thought it was a very good idea to go that route because I felt this story on the WWE level needed to be told almost anew. Yes, you go back on some of the things that happened on NXT, and of course you highlight some of the things that happened on the independent circuit, but WWE audiences really need to see this story play out in front of them. And that angle really started on Monday, I felt, with the brawl between them to kick off that whole segment with the Fatal 4-Way number one contendership match. And then later on, Sami Zayn preparing for that match, only to be attacked and subsequently taken out of the match by Kevin Owens, powerbomb through a table, the whole shebang. And then when Kevin grabbed that box and just blasted, he grabbed the small cardboard box and just blasted Sammy right in a mush hole with it. It was just a great segment, and that carried over to SmackDown into Kevin Owens' tag team match that he had. He was tagging Y2J, baby! And Sammy came out, didn't get physical, but he came out and, he was taped up, he was angry, and you felt like this angle is really starting to go. So this, for me, was my favorite angle of the week, because I believe this is starting a story that potentially can play out for the next several years. Because I think that you could do it now when neither of these guys have a belt, and you could tell one story. Then, just as the situation is starting to die down, maybe after 2 matches or so, one of them wins a title, whether it be the Intercontinental or the United States Championship. One of them wins a title, and then you'd have them battle over that. And then eventually, somewhere down the line, this feud can happen easily for the World's Heavyweight Championship. This could be the modern day version of Shawn Michaels and Triple H. I believe that. There's no bullshit in what I just said. No hyperbole. I believe that they could be that. They're that entertaining. They're that engaging. They're just that good. So we'll see what happens with that. I think very easily. But at the very least, this is their new apex for this feud, because it won a Golden Dave. Look at him. Look at him. He's standing right next to him. Look at Golden Dave. There, you can see them fighting over the Golden Dave. Don't worry, guys. You both win it this week. You both win the Golden Dave. So congratulations. I know how important it is. I know. I get it. I get it. What's next up? What's the next Golden Dave? Space Monkeys. Why is it Space Monkeys? I'm so fucking awkward. All right. Next, Golden Dave. Well, we've talked about it ad nauseum during this show already, so we might as well go ahead and give out the Golden Dave for it. It shouldn't be a big surprise. Match of the week is the aforementioned Fatal 4-Way #1 contenders match between AJ Styles, Y2J, baby, Kevin Owens, and it was supposed to be Sami Zayn, but that allowed for another fantastic moment, which could have been the moment of the week for a lot of people. It was Cesaro returning. And Cesaro returning in a very cool way. Kind of has a new gimmick, at least the nuance to his gimmick, where he comes out in a suit, glasses, the whole shebang, and holy God, it's a tearaway suit. He rips it off, and then he is Superman. It's a subtle nod to the whole Superman thing, because he's the Swiss Superman. So he goes from Clark Kent, or, in this case, like James Bond, to Superman, which is kind of the coolest thing ever if you think about it. Think about that for a second. If your identity as a superhero is James Bond, like, your superhero, you're Superman. That's just who you are, right? But your cover, your identity, your secret identity is James Bond or Jason Statham, because that's what he looks like. That's awesome. That's pretty good. Aside from him just returning, this match tore it down. It was the best match for many reasons. You had multiple situations that kind of fed into it. Kevin Owens taking out Sami Zayn that we already talked about, the returning Cesaro, which we just hit on, and of course the already big rivalry between Y2J, baby, and AJ Styles. Now, the story going into the match and really the Raw was AJ Styles should not have lost at WrestleMania to Chris Jericho. It shouldn't have happened. Chris Jericho is a multi-time champion, and there's no reason why he had to bury AJ Styles. Why couldn't he have his WrestleMania moment? Well, that was short-sighted thinking by a lot of people who was crying and screaming and everything. It's like AJ is a 27-year-old up-and-coming superstar with no background, and he needs to be put over by a guy like Chris Jericho. That's not the case. Jericho is fantastic. He's one of the greatest of all time. He's also put over countless superstars, lost unbelievable amounts of big matches, and he is the epitome, the proof that wins and losses really don't affect your career. If there's any one guy, and he will be a Hall of Famer, if there's ever been a guy in the history of wrestling that has succeeded with such a shitty win-loss record, I haven't met him. It's Chris Jericho, man. Nobody has come close to it. And I'm not saying that that's okay and that's what they should do with AJ Styles. No, that's not what I'm saying. But having Chris beat AJ allows Chris to go on and still have meaning, still have swagger, still have something to give to somebody else, including this number one contenders match. Now, AJ finally getting the pin on Jericho while using the Styles Clash, you know, a move that Jericho has kicked out of twice in previous matches. But now AJ being able to pin him with that not only puts AJ over as the number one contender for however long it'll be, which I don't know how long it's going to be. I really don't see him winning the title, but that's another story for another day. But it puts him over. It puts the Styles Clash over. It puts a lot of things over. And it just worked. This match was fantastic. The pacing was great. The storytelling was awesome. The moves were great. Everything about it was just perfect. The crowd was really into it. You can't ask for much more than that out of a match, especially a Monday Night Raw match. So fantastic, easily match of the week. You know, arguably, this was better than any single match at WrestleMania, other than maybe the Women's Championship match. Other than that, I think this was the best match since Friday. The best match I saw through the entire weekend. It's not the best match of the weekend, because for me, that's still Shinsuke Nakamura and Sami Zayn, which I will still contest one of the greatest matches I've ever watched in my life. And yeah, so this was a great match. This was a great match. So I'm very, very happy to give the Golden Dave to the Fatal 4-Way number one contendership on Monday Night Raw. What's next? What's the next Golden Dave? Hurry up. Give it to me. Give it to me. Put it on my face, neck, and chest. I need to have it now. So this leads us to show of the week. And really, there was only two to pick from if you're a WWE guy. I mean, like, yes, main event and superstars and all that stuff. But of the main shows, there really wasn't much of an NXT to speak of. SmackDown was really, really good. But it was Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw was the show of the week. Really leading off a really good, strong week for WWE programming, I have to say. Raw was really, really solid from top to bottom. There were just, everything seemed to matter. Everything seemed to click. No authority. There were some weird moments, things just happening just for shits and giggles, like Shane McMahon, after everything, ended up running Monday Night Raw, at least for the night, which I think will end up being longer. So I thought that was cool. Not everything needs to make perfect sense. It is professional wrestling at the end of the day. And on top of that, it is a television show. Not everything in TV makes perfect friggin' sense, but we like it anyway. And I think that's the problem. I think one of the biggest problems with fandom in wrestling is they think too much that it's a real sport. And you try to, it's a blend, but you want to hold it to what standards do you hold it to? Do you hold the standards of a wrestling program, of a television show, or a real major sport? It's kind of difficult. And this is why wrestling is so polarizing and why everybody fights and argues and does stupid channels like this one all over the place, and shows and talk shows and podcasts. It's because there are just so many different ways to look at it. All that being said, I don't even know why I got on that tangent at this point, but Monday Night Raw was the show of the week. I don't even know why I got on that tangent. Oh my God. I'm a special human being. All right, what's next? What's the next Golden Dave? The Golden Dave goes to, let's find out. Ah, yes, Superstar of the Week. Now, this one was a little bit difficult because I don't think even AJ Styles, nobody really did put on a performance throughout the entire week that was like, that separated them from anybody else. Everybody had people to lean on that made them look bigger. AJ with the people that he worked with, Cesaro, Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho, Y2J, baby! Yeah, I'm going to keep doing it. I don't care if you like it or not. I'm going to keep doing it. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Even The Miz and Zack Ryder are in the category. Everybody had somebody that just it was pairings that worked. But considering he is the number one contender and he had 2 fantastic performances on both Raw and SmackDown, the award's going to go to the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, for no other reason than he is just phenomenal. He's great. I love to see his success here in WWE. I think it's great. I love what he's doing. And I really do hope that they decide to go crazy and put the belt on him, because just to shut people up. But people will still complain. People will still bitch. Oh, now they just undid all the work they did with Roman Reigns. That's what will happen. You'll hear it because people are insane. People are insane. All right, so those are all the main Golden Daves, but I got one more. I got a new one to introduce, and I'm excited about this one. This one's going to be fun. So let's bring up the final Golden Dave, shall we? It is the Golden Dave for Rumor of the Week. Now, look, I think this is going to turn into one of my favorite awards to give out each and every single week, because rumors are ridiculous. They're rampant. They're everywhere. They're constant. It just never stops. And this one has been around for a long time. There's been a lot of talk about Ricochet or Prince Puma coming to WWE for a very, very long time. Years, really. And it's never happened. But with the new Cruiserweight Championship that the WWE, the tournament, I should say, right now it's just a tournament that the WWE is putting on this summer, the leaked opt-out clause of Prince Puma's 7-season contract with Lucha Underground. He can opt out after season 3, which is about to end filming here next month. All of these things. And now there's even another thing, and I'll talk about that in a second, is kind of lending credence to this rumor. Now, this is one of those rumors that the longer it goes on, the more annoying it's going to get. Like, when's Dean Ambrose going to turn on Roman Reigns? Or when is Cass and Enzo going to be called up to the main roster? We got tired of hearing about it. And if, thankfully, the Dean Ambrose thing died out, I'm sure we'll start coming up again soon at some point. But you have all these constant rumors, constant questions. And this one has been a long-standing one. And now, with what happened at New Japan Pro Wrestling's event last night, or actually I think it's still going on as I'm doing this show. I watched some of it. I watched Ricochet and his partner Matt Sydal lose the IWGP Tag Team Championships. So, and spoiler, Puma, Ricochet, he took the fall. He's been written off of television on Lucha Underground. All these things are pointing to his imminent signing with WWE. Now, for so long, people have talked about Ricochet being that guy. If Ricochet were just to go to WWE, it's going to change wrestling. I don't know if I agree with that, but here's what I do know. Ricochet is a fantastic cruiserweight. He's a fantastic smaller guy. He's a fantastic high flyer. I think you can even make the argument that he might be the best pure high flyer in the business today. Even Neville is going to have something to say about that, and I'm really hoping Neville is healthy by this tournament. I hope he can go, because, my God, a finals of Adrian Neville and Ricochet. There are so many other good cruiserweights that are going to be in that tournament, and I do think it's going to lead to many guys being brought into the WWE. It's just, it's craziness. It's craziness when you think about just how good things can be going. There's this new methodology, this new mindset to let's go with the exciting things. We saw it with Zayn and Nakamura. We're seeing it with a lot of the guys that are coming in, that it's not just about the big guys beating the hell out of each other anymore. They are starting to focus more on wrestling, but they're never going to stop being the balanced commodity that they are. But Triple H certainly has his finger on the pulse of what is hot in the world of wrestling. And he knows that guys like this are hot. They're draws. They're going to do big things for you. So why not utilize them? Why not have a tournament? Even if it's just a one-off, even if it doesn't bring about a new cruiserweight division, who gives a shit? Who cares if it doesn't bring around a light heavyweight championship? If there is a yearly tournament to crown a new champion in the world of the welterweights, the cruiserweights, whatever you want to call them, the light heavyweights, then Jesus, man, that's 32 slots. And if they're going to do it like they are this year, where they're going all around the world to bring in guys who are not even contracted, not all of them at least, contracted WWE, my God, how can you not be excited about something like this? I am. I am. And Prince Puma, Ricochet, is at the center of this discussion, center of this debate, as this long-standing rumor has reared up once again. So it is my rumor of the week, man. And if you have a rumor that you want to be rumor of the week, that you think should be rumor of the week, hit me up on Twitter at DeadOnDaveV and let me know what you think is the real rumor of the week, or give me any of your hot tips, rumors, show me where you got it from, and so I can make fun of it, all kinds of good stuff, all right? Very much appreciated. Thank you guys for joining me, man. Your weekly awards. You've been golden daved. You've been dipped in golden daviness. I hope you enjoyed it. Tonight, we're not done. Tonight, a live Dead on Dave. Yes, Dead on Dave live viewer questions. We're going to take all your guys' questions that you might have from the week. Wrestling, sports, video games, television shows, movies, life, whatever, man. Pop culture, whatever you got. You put them in the chat, which is active right now. You can go right there, place your questions in the chat, and I will answer them. Yes, you can call in live as well during the show, and we will take your calls and questions, and we're going to get to everything. I'm very excited about it, so thank you guys very much for all the support. Continue to like, subscribe, and share, and we will see you just a little bit later on tonight. Is at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check the link. It's on the channel, and we'll see you then. Thank you guys very much. Like, subscribe, and share. As always, check out everything that's going on within the community. My man Too Tall over at XLT Live Podcast. Tommy C over at Shot From The Point, who'll be going live with Shot From The Point Live, your weekly dose of craziness, hockey talk, and everything else talk as well. Make sure you check him out and the gang, Jeff Huffman, Mecha Matt, whoever else might be there tonight. Make sure you check that out. It's going to be good stuff. And also Jeff Huffman, my co-host on Touch 'Em All, the weekly baseball show. You can check him out over at Grand Slam 87 on Twitter and on YouTube. All right. Thank you guys very much for joining us. We'll see you next time right here on Dead on Dave Productions. And as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. Keep it copious, people. Peace. I burped.